If everything feels like too much today, you are in the right place. This practice isn't about forcing yourself to calm down. It's about meeting your nervous system where it's at and giving it a safe place to land. Hi, I'm Jade. Welcome to Neuro Nurture Yoga. Thanks so much for being here with me today. Make sure you have any cozy things you might want to have. If you like to use fidgets for when we're in seated positions, grab some fidget toys if that feels good. Grab your water, all that good stuff. We are going to start today in a seated position of some variation. So whatever that might look like for you today. Just when you're in your shape, we want to try to create some space within the spine, creating a long spine as much as we can today. So whatever shape helps you get there, pick that one. All right, whenever you're in your shape, we are going to find either a soft gaze, or you can look around the room if that helps you feel grounded. Whatever makes you feel most safe with your gaze, you can do that. Eyes closed, looking around, maybe soft gaze on something in front of you. Pick whatever creates that safety within yourself. And we're going to now begin with the breath. Maybe start to notice what the breath is doing in the body. So we're not trying to change or manipulate the breath in any way, just noticing what it's doing. What sensations are happening in the body. If it feels good, allow that breath to find an easy pace. The air flowing in and out of the lungs with ease and zero effort. From this space, if it is accessible to you, start to breathe in and out of the nose. And the reason that we're putting our focus on breathing in and out of the nose, it helps to create a calmer state in the body. Just naturally, the constriction that happens when we close our mouths and only breathe in through our nose, it has a very regulating effect on the body. So as best you can, try to breathe in and out of the nose. But again, we're not focusing on changing the depth or anything like that with our breath, just in and out of the nose. Notice if the body is saying anything right now. Or maybe things might just be blank. That's okay too. Be with wherever you are. Noticing the breath. Where does it land in the body when we inhale? And noticing if you're trying to force an exhale. See if it feels comfortable with those exhales. Explore elongating those. So allow that exhale to maybe grow a little bit larger in its depth. And the reason that I say elongate the exhales, also that has a very regulating effect on the nervous system. However, if we're really trying to force our exhales, that can have a dysregulating effect. So simply allowing the breath in and out of the body and seeing if those exhales can grow and expand a little bit. And of course, if this strong attention is create any stress, you can start to ease up, maybe focus on a different thought or image that might come up to help take your mind off the breath for a second, if that feels good. We're going to be here for a few more moments, noticing the breath, maybe taking a little bit of a breath break. It can be helpful to look around, check out your space. If you have a fidget nearby, that can be helpful as well. Or maybe taking some additional movements. I find for myself, I naturally go to swaying a lot. So finding easy breath sometimes includes having a swaying back and forth. So a couple different things to try. All right, if you had the eyes closed, you can open them now. If you're moving and it feels good to find some stillness, you can do that now. We're going to move to the neck. So starting with some simple neck rolls. So drop the chin down to the chest and then round the head in whatever direction first. And if it feels good to pause at some more tense spots, you can do that. And maybe checking in and seeing if you can link the breath and the movements here. Doesn't matter, inhale, exhale, which goes with which movement. Whatever feels most natural. See if you can link an inhale to one movement and then your exhale to the other movement. When it feels good, we're going to switch directions. So go the opposite direction that you were just going. Being gentle with the neck. Noticing the breath. And it can be overwhelming to focus on linking the breath, noticing what the breath is doing, all of these cues that I'm saying. Pick one. You don't have to pick all of the things that I'm saying. There are just a lot of options for you to choose. So if it feels good to focus on linking breath and movement, do that. If it feels good to just allow your movement to happen and focusing on what the breath is doing, do that. Lots of options for you. to notice, to play with, to explore. All right, bringing the neck back to center. We're going to just dip the ear to our shoulders. So allow one ear to drop to the shoulders and notice the tension in the neck. Checking in with the breath if that feels good. If you would like to add on any more to this shape, you can take the hand that is the opposite shoulder to where you have your head. You can take it and swing it back behind you a little bit. You can also play bringing it forward and back. And that can add a little bit of additional tension to your situation if you'd like to add that. You can also take the hand that the head is at that shoulder, and you can gently rest it on top of the head. We're not wanting to push down the neck in any way, just plop the hand on the head and let it chill there for a few moments if you feel called to try this out. Noticing the body's sensations and breathing with them. Start to release whatever neck situation you have yourself in. Head comes up, and then we're dropping the head to the other shoulder. Sometimes when we're in this shape, it can be easy to allow the spine, the shoulder to fold over a bit. So as best you can, trying to bring those shoulders so they're more in line with where your knees are at or more straight forward, and just allowing the neck to be a part of the stretch here. And every side is different, so maybe you're good here with this side, but maybe you want to explore a little bit more. So you can take that opposite hand out, swing it around the side here, see what feels juicy, see what wants to be explored, and you can also take that other hand, allow it to rest on the head as well. Easy breathing here. Not trying to change or alter what's happening, but allowing the breath to flow. Two more easy breaths here, in and out of the nose. Oh, this is my ouchie sign, so I don't want to leave. Okay, bring the head up. We're gonna have a little shoulder action here. So as we inhale, lift the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, nice and slowly letting the shoulders melt down. And this, the extent that you take this is all what your body needs. Every body is going to be different. So allow your body to be in whatever space that it is. Allow your nervous system to be in whatever space it is. Our inhales, bring the shoulders up. Exhale, shoulders come down. Few more here. Big inhale. Exhale. Inhales, take the shoulders up. And exhale, shoulders melt down. And take one more if that feels good. All right. We're taking one arm out in front of us and taking it up just above our head and noticing what's happening in the shoulders here. If it feels good, you can explore, maybe bring that shoulder up and down. Maybe you start to explore with the arm, taking it whatever direction you might feel called to. What is your breath saying? If your breath starts to get strained, shorter, and you're just finding it more challenging to breathe, that's a good call for you to take a step back, maybe find something a little bit more gentle. It can be very intense to have the arm up for a very long time. So maybe start to take some shoulder rolls. We're sticking with one side right now, so only moving one side of the body. Maybe just bring one shoulder up and down. All right. We're going to stop exploring with this shoulder. Let's move to the next one. So maybe taking that arm up, noticing what the shoulder is telling you here. I know that can sound very vague and confusing, like it's not talking to me. No, it is not, but sensations are. What do those sensations say? Does it say I need to move? Does it say I need to reach over here? Allow your body to take what it needs, leave the rest. And honoring that in our bodies, both sides are going to be different. Your needs are always going to be different and changing. That's okay. It's okay to have those needs change and fluctuate. Explore with that shoulder. Maybe it might be a good time now to check in with the breath. Lovely. I'm going to take a couple shoulder rolls on this side too. Easy breath. All right. I'm going to find a cat-cow position now. So you have the option to stay in a seated position. So if you want to do a seated cat-cow, you can definitely do that. Or you can also find a tabletop position. Taking the fingers, spreading them nice and wide to find some strong roots in the hands to support the shoulders. Untuck the toes or tuck the toes, whatever feels comfy for you and your spine. And we always want to ensure we're nice and stable in our shape before. So once you feel that stability within your shape, inhale, drop the belly, lift the tail, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck the tail, tuck the chin, round the spine. Inhale, belly drops, tail lifts, chin lifts. Exhale, round and tuck. All right, so those are our shapes. You know what you're doing from here. Take your cat-cows, explore linking your breath and your movement. And of course, if your body is craving any type of different variations, maybe adding some circles, maybe going side to side. Honor what your body wants. Move when your body wants to move. This is your practice. Taking a few more rounds of your cat-cow. And allowing your thoughts to happen. It's okay to be thinking. It's okay to have thoughts barreling through your head when you practice. Allow yourself to ride the wave and see if you can start to create non-attachment to those thoughts. So yeah, lots is going on, lots of things are busy. Start to come back to your tabletop position, a neutral spine here. And allowing those thoughts to happen, but not attaching ourselves to those thoughts. Creating rumination and creating turmoil within, because oftentimes a lot of our thoughts, they're just chatter in our mind. We're going to take a wide like child's pose here. So take those knees nice and wide. Maybe those big toes touch. Send the hips back and allow the chest to come down. So when we learn to ride the waves of our thoughts without creating a lot of attachment and reaction to those thoughts, it can be helpful to create less turmoil, especially if those thoughts are causing you issues, right? Breathe here. Notice what the breath is doing. Maybe there's other sounds you might be hearing in your space. Different textures might be calling your attention. With whatever intensity those are creating for you, see if you can call yourself back to the breath, noticing the breath. On your next inhale, you can begin to walk the body up with the hands, bringing yourself up. Ooh. Grabbing any water if you need any water. All right. So, gonna be your choice here if you'd like to take a downward facing dog. Some people down dog works for them. Other people, it's just not a shape that works for your body. So if you're not wanting to take downward facing dog, child's pose is great. You can take your hands forward. You can also bring the knees together and let the hands go behind you for a nice shoulder action there. I'm gonna lead us through downward facing dog, but no, you can take whatever feels best for you at this moment. All right, so walking your hands forward, again, those fingers are spread nice and wide, rooting down with the thumb and the index finger and pressing the hips up and back to find a downward facing dog. So with your down dog here, lots of choices. You can have those knees nice and bent. You can take the feet nice and wide if that feels good. We want to set ourselves up with stability, and that really starts with our hands. So see if you can spread those fingers wide if it feels good for them, and really press down into the palm, especially the thumb and the index. And then from there, we're really pressing into the earth, and we're allowing our shoulder blades, if possible, to roll onto our back. So imagine as if your elbows are pulling inwards, and that'll help to really create that activation for those shoulders, to create the stability for the shoulders. And from the hip points, as if you're being pulled up and back with the hips. And if it feels good, you might look towards the belly button. And notice the energy that's being cultivated here. Stopping whenever your body asks, allowing yourself to stop when you need. And exhale, lower the knees down. And lower the seat down. We're going to give the hands a little bit of a shake. Roll out the shoulders a couple times. And we can start with our tabletop position. We're going to go into a low lunge. So taking one leg forward in between the hands, we want to try as best we can to have the knee stacked on top of the ankle just to support our leg here. Back toe can be tucked or untucked, whichever feels more stable. And if you feel like you're wobbling a lot, you might have to widen yourself a little bit. So work with your structure of your body. All right, root down with that foot in front of you, really pressing down. Start to bring the torso up, maybe bringing your hands up. And if you feel more stable with your hands on the ground, that's your first option. You could also try with hands on the thigh here. And we want to be mindful not to dump our weight totally into the hips. So as if you're pulling this front foot back, activate this thigh. And then pull this knee, pulling it forward, kind of like that, to really activate both the thighs to support our hips here. Noticing what the body has to say. And what does your breath feel like? In and out of the nose. All right, 2 more breaths here. You're doing great. Creating more strength in our body. All right, bring the hands down to the mat. And then we're going to take that front foot back and swing forward our next leg. And I forgot to say with our last one, but if you need support under the knee, like a blanket or something like that, support yourself, add that cushion if you need. All right, finding that stability in that bottom leg. Maybe our hands are staying on the ground here. Maybe we might bring them up to the knee. Check in with our stability, activate both those thighs, supporting ourselves here, and finding your breath. Noticing how our breath changes when we go from doing something more passive to something that's more activated here. So maybe the breaths might be shorter. Know that all those fluctuations with the depth of your breath, honor that, acknowledge it, and be with it. Seeing if you can inhale in and out of the nose. 2 more breaths here, so strong. And of course, stop at any point that feels good for your body. Hands slowly come down. Bring that leg around. And then you'll stretch your legs out long in front of you. Oh, my feet are gone. I'm going to scooch back. Finding a forward fold here. Few different options. If it feels good, you can have the legs straight. You can also bend those legs up a lot. I like this version a lot for the low back. I find that it releases the low back quite nicely. Or have those legs straight if you're going for a bit more sensation and if you're really needing that today. Inhale, and then exhale, let the body fold over. Maybe the head drops down. We are going to be here for a few moments. So all of the things again with our breath, let it be. Notice what's going on with it. And if that's too much and you want to take a break from breath attention, maybe start to notice the body sensations. Simply showing up for yourself today in whatever shape of yourself that you're in. Know that it's okay and it is exactly where you need to be. And if those challenges are intense and bright for you, know that it will pass. Three more breaths here. And use your hands to walk yourself up. Nice and gently peel yourself up from that forward fold. And let's make our way to our backs. Get nice and cozy if you have to take out a ponytail like me. Knees bent, soles of the feet to the mat. And you can keep those soles of the feet as far away or as close. That feels good. And then we're going to find a twist. So drop the knees to one side and adjust anything that might need to be adjusted. So maybe you might have to move your hips over a little bit. Maybe shift those knees. If you have a blanket, it can feel comfy to add that between the knees as well. Option to look the opposite direction of your twist. And so many options for the arms as well. Play around, explore. Noticing sensations in the body. Are any of your muscles clenched or tightened? Sometimes even just putting a focus on that can help dissipate and let that tension release. When you inhale next, you can start to unravel your twist. You can use the hands to guide those knees back, and then taking it to the opposite side. Let those knees drop. Maybe looking over with the opposite gaze. Sometimes the most potent thing that we can do for ourselves and our intensity of our experiences is noticing what's going on, noticing what the body is saying, and labeling that. Sometimes the labeling part can get challenging, but that attention and that noticing of a particular state can be very beneficial to take some of the heat out of it. I notice the tightening of my shoulder blades while I'm trying to relax. Notice my breath has come to a slower pace. One more inhale and exhale in this side of the twist. Start to unravel yourself. And from here, we have a couple of different options. We're going to stay on our backs, but we're going to either take legs up the wall, or I call it, and it is called dead bug pose. So it's essentially like legs up the wall, but just in a back version. An unsupported version. So if you do need that wall support, scoot your booty up to a wall, to a nearby flat space, and take those legs up. And then you can also take those arms up. Pedal out the hands and feet if that feels good. Maybe additional movement of the arms and legs. Breathing in and out of the nose. Now, you can stay in this position for as long as you'd like, but after this, we are going to be making our way to our final resting pose, Shavasana. So if you're ready to go there, do your thing, stretch out nice and long, or continue in your dead bug pose or legs up the wall. And if you want to end your practice there and just chill in this shape for the rest of your practice, by all means. Or you can take your limbs down, stretch them nice and long. Maybe take the arms and legs nice and wide, take up some space. If having a blanket feels good, you can put a blanket on yourself. Add in whatever support you might need to get cozy. Be here with yourself in this moment. Maybe notice what the breath might be saying, or the body. Breathe easily in and out of the nose. Noticing any potential tension your body might be holding on to. See if, when putting attention to it, if it changes, or simply moving past that tension and bringing the attention back to the breath if that feels safer. You can stay in this shape and rest here as long as you would like. I'm going to begin to bring myself up. If you feel called, you can come along nice and gently. Peel yourself up. Find an easy seat of some sort. And taking one breath here. Noticing any shifts, if any. Acknowledging where you're at in this current moment. Know that that's where you need to be. You got this. One breath at a time. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be liberated. Thank you. Bye.